Lucky Strike.
Light up the lucky, it's light up time. Be happy, go lucky, it's light up time. For the taste that you like, light up a Lucky Strike. Relax, it's light up time.
Those men out there have the right idea. Comes the time to take a quick break, comes a great time to light up. And a great cigarette to light up is a Lucky. Luckies taste better because they're made of fine, light, naturally good-tasting tobacco. Then that fine tobacco is toasted. It's toasted to taste better, to taste cleaner, fresher, smoother. So the next time you buy cigarettes, get better taste. Get a carton of Lucky Strike.
For the taste that you like, light up a Lucky Strike right now. Light up a Lucky. It's light up time.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight Jack Benny is in New York City. And I know this will come as much of a surprise to you as it did to me, because on this trip, Jack is living at one of the finest hotels in New York. So now let's pick up Jack and Rochester in the luxurious penthouse suite of the St. Regis Hotel.
Say, boss, would you like me to get you another pillow?
No, Rochester, I couldn't be more comfortable. How about you? Are you relaxed?
Relax. Boss, if my watch stopped, there wouldn't be any life here at all.
Well, we're certainly living it up, aren't we?
Yep. I think I'll get myself another pillow, though. Of all the times you've come to New York, this is the first time you've stayed at a nice hotel.
Yep.
What a dump that was you used to stay at, the Acme Plaza. What a broken-down joint that was.
Well, Rochester, the reason I stayed there because it was so close to the subway.
Good thing it was. We had to use their washroom.
Well, things are different now.
They sure are. You know, I bet the rate on this suite is about $30 a day.
30? Are you kidding? This suite is $36 a day. It's posted in the closet. What are you laughing at?
The Acme Plaza was $36 too, but that was for the season.
Well, we're really living it up now.
Yeah. Who is it?
Mr. Stevens. It's the manager of this hotel. Oh, yeah. Coming! 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 Wait a minute! With you! Well, Mr. Stevens.
Look, I hired you 4 days ago. When are you going to finish painting this room?
Well, you see, Mr. Stevens, it takes quite a while, to mix the paint to get it the proper color and texture so it'll flow off the brush easily, Isn't that right, Rembrandt?
Oh, you're so right, Mr. Picasso.
Rembrandt? Picasso?
Yes, Sam Rembrandt. I'm Joe Picasso.
Oh. Well, I'm going to the bedroom and see what color I'd like to have you paint them.
Say, Sam.
No, you're Sam. I'm Joe.
Well, say, Joe.
Wait, he's coming back.
I think I'd like both bedrooms redone in pink.
Pink.
By the way, when you fellows go home at night, would you please lock this door? Somebody's been sleeping in those beds.
No.
Well, we'll certainly watch it. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hello. Well, that was a close one, wasn't it?
Not as close as yesterday morning. We'd just gotten out of bed when the manager came in.
Well, that wasn't so close. You know, by the time we got the buckets of paint and the overalls on, and by the time the manager came in, you were up on the step ladder and working on the ceiling.
I know, but I had a toothbrush in my hand.
Oh, well, let's get these things back.
Davy, Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett. Rochester, how do you get in and out of these overalls so fast?
I butted the legs.
Ah. Well, sit back and relax again. Just a minute. One second. Be with you in a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the room was occupied.
Well, let's put all the stuff up again.
No, wait a minute, Roger. Let's leave everything where it is. Then we can be dressed. If someone comes in, we'll be all ready, you know?
You sure go to a lot of trouble just to save a lousy $36 a day.
Rochester, there's no such a thing as a lousy $36. Anyway, I don't know how did the manager find out about anyone sleeping in those beds? Did he see my pajamas?
Not unless he looked out the window. I washed them and hung them on the flagpole.
Rochester, I begged you last night not to hang my pajamas on the flagpole again.
Why, were they cold when you put them on?
No, but when I turned over in bed, what a mess.
Why?
A pigeon laid an egg in my pocket.
If that egg hadn't broken, you'd be a mother now.
Well, let's take it easy now for a while. There. You see? Aren't you glad I told you to leave the clothes on?
Yeah.
Who is that?
It's me, Don Wilson. Lois is with me.
Is Don Wilson and his wife? We can't let him see us like this. Wait a minute! Just a minute! Just a minute! Just a minute, Don! Wait, just 1 minute. We'll be right back. 1 minute, please. Just a minute. Don, just a minute, Don. Okay. Let him in.
Hello, Rochester.
Hello, Don. How are you, Don?
This is really a bit all right.
Well, I'm glad here. They have your coat.
You know, Jack, we'd have been here sooner, but there was such a crowd in front of the hotel.
A crowd? Why?
Well, somebody wearing pajamas hung himself on the flagpole.
Oh, that was probably just a publicity stunt. Take Mrs. Wilson's wrap, will you?
Yes, sir.
See, you know, Jack, when you called me and told me to tell Don that you were living in the penthouse suite of the St. Regis Hotel, I could hardly believe it.
I know. No, I heard you laughing.
That was the operator.
As a matter of fact, Jack, that's why I came over. I want to tell you how happy I am that you finally stopped being so cheap.
Cheap? Don, I'm not cheap. I spend money when I have to.
Oh, yeah? What about that time when you needed an operation? You wanted Rochester to take your appendix out.
I did not. I merely asked him if he knew how.
That's all. Well, Jack, the important thing is that you are living at a very nice hotel now, and I'm proud.
Well, I'm glad.
Say, Jack,
Yeah?
you know, I can get some good ideas from this room to use when we redo our apartment back
Really?
home. Don, I just love those drapes.
Aren't they nice?
Oh, they're lovely. Oh, and these lamps. They're really unique.
Oh, they are. They are.
This painting is beautiful, too.
The painting? Oh, yeah, that's an original painting.
Really? Who painted it?
Rembrandt.
Did you call me, boy?
No.
He said Rembrandt, not Rochester.
Ho, 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 ho!
Jack,
Huh?
Jack, I've known you a long time, and I know you wouldn't be living in as nice a room as this if you didn't have a good reason. Now, what is it?
Well, Don, if you must know, Jackie Gleason is coming over to visit me.
Jackie Gleason?
Yes, you see, he and I were forming a company together to produce television shows, you know, and we're going to have this company, just Jackie and myself, and naturally I took this suite because I wanted to impress him, you see.
Well, I knew there must have been something.
Yeah.
By the way, Jack, I'm hungry. I can stand a sandwich.
A sandwich?
I'd like one, too.
I'll call room service.
Room service? No, down!
Jack, I know this is a classy hotel, but sandwich can't be that expensive.
Mr. Wilson, if any food comes to this room, it'll cost us $36 a day.
What?
Retroactive.
Don, if you want a sandwich, why, I'll send Rochester out.
Well, never mind, Jack. I have an appointment with a sponsor, and on the way we'll stop at a few restaurants.
Well, all right. All right, get it going. Get it
There you are.
Goodbye, Don. Goodbye. You know, Rochester, Mr. Wilson talking about food made me kind of hungry. How about something to eat, huh?
Okay. Baby, baby, come here. Rocket.
Rochester, what kind of sandwiches are these?
Hot roast beef. I left the light on all night.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Andre Baruch. Now, while Jack is having a sandwich and awaiting the arrival of Jackie Gleason, hear this song? That means it's not only lunchtime, it's light-up time. And a great cigarette to light up is a Lucky. Would you join me? Lucky's taste better because they're made of fine, light, naturally good-tasting tobacco. And then that fine tobacco is toasted. It's toasted to taste better, to taste cleaner, fresher, smoother. So next time you get cigarettes, get better taste. Get a carton of Lucky Strike. And now let's go back to Jack Benny's luxurious suite in the St. Regis Hotel, where he's awaiting the arrival of Jackie Gleason.
Well, boss, I washed the glasses and put them up.
Good.
Say, when are you expecting Mr. Gleason to come over?
He ought to be here any minute now.
Well, how are you going to know it's him at the door?
Oh, when I phoned him, I told him to come right up to the room and then knock like this, you know. See?
Boss, I got to hand it to you. You're really smart.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you must be. You told me yourself that when you finished the 3rd grade, they handed you your diploma for your graduation.
That wasn't because I was smart. I was 27 years old. They were sick of me. Well, it just goes to show you. Right. Hey, that must be Gleason. Let him in.
Yes.
Kids, wait for me in the bus. Well, hiya, Jake.
Jackie! Do you always make an entrance like this? I mean, with the girls dancing?
Every place I go, pal. Last night, they kicked over 12 tables at the Star Club. Yes. And it's murder when we get into a phone booth. Say, I want to tell you that you have a nice place here. This is beautiful. Hiya, Rochester.
Oh, hello, Mr. Gleason.
You know, Rochester, I think it's pretty nice of you to allow Mr. Benny to stay here in your room.
Wait a minute. This isn't his room, it's ours. I mean, it's mine. And if you want to know something, Don Wilson was here a little while ago, and saw this room. He was nuts about it.
Who?
Don Wilson.
Oh, Fatso.
Fatso? Well, that's a fine remark coming from somebody who had a diet to go through the Holland Tunnel.
Don't talk to me about dieting, you and your fat tongue.
Through the Lincoln Tunnel.
That's better. See, you are hot enough. Look, Jake, I come up to talk some business with you, so let's get at it.
Okay.
Now, in order to facilitate matters, I had all the papers drawn up.
Good.
Now, get a load of this. The Jack Benny, Jackie Gleason Television Productions Company.
Say, you put my name first.
Why, of course. And look at all the times your name is mentioned. Jack Benny, Jack Benny, Jack Benny, Jack Benny.
God.
Jack Benny agrees that Jackie Gleason will be the producer. Jack Benny agrees that Jackie Gleason will be the director.
What?
Jack Benny agrees that Jackie Gleason will be the star.
Now, wait a minute. When we first talked about forming this company, you said that you were willing for me to be the star.
Well, I agree. I know. You're absolutely right, and I don't deny it. But since I agreed that when we made these films, you'd be the star, well, something's happened.
What? What changed your mind?
I had lunch with the Warner Brothers.
Uh-huh.
They were telling me about a gem you made for them called,
The Horn Blows at Midnight?
It's funny, but when you say it, it sounds so harmless.
Well, what are the Warner Brothers complaining about? Every place that picture showed, they made a fortune.
They did?
Yeah.
Yeah, they sold Alka-Seltzer in the lobby.
Never mind. Now, look at Jackie. Let's talk this over. Now, I want to be fair. Sit down. I think you have just as much right to be the star as I have. But I think we ought to take it up at the next stockholders meeting, and we vote on it.
Now, that's ridiculous. How can that decide who's going to be the star? You and I are the only ones that hold any stock.
I sold one share to Rochester.
You are a snake. However, I got an idea that'll solve the whole problem. Neither one of us will star in the picture. We'll get a nice young horse.
A horse?
Why, certainly, that's what the public wants, animals. Look at how well Lassie's doing and Francis the Mule. Now, we'll get a good horse, and we'll start a whole series. Perhaps we'll call it The Adventures of Dobbin. How does that strike your fancy?
Well, I mean, if we're going to invest a lot of money in a series, supposing the horse gets old.
Well, when he gets to be 39, we'll shoot him dead. Now, come on, pal. Sign the contract, and it's a deal.
Well, all right, let me look at it.
You know, Jack, I've got a confession to make.
Confession?
Yeah, when you first approached me, you know, about becoming partners with you, I wasn't too hot on the idea. I didn't want to be associated with you. I didn't want to get mixed up with anybody as cheap and as stingy as you were.
Cheap and stingy?
But I apologize. When I walked in here and saw this expensive, beautiful, opulent suite, I want to tell you, Jake... I was proud to be your partner.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Jackie, very much. Now, let's look over this contract here just a minute.
The phone's ringing.
Oh. Rochester, answer the phone, will you?
I just thought of something I forgot to do.
Let's see.
Aren't you going to answer the phone, Jack?
No, no.
You want me to answer it?
No, you're not even supposed to be here.
What?
Rochester, answer the phone.
All right. Hello? Yes? Uh-oh. It's the manager of the hotel.
Yeah?
Oh, Mr. Picasso's busy. This is Rembrandt speaking.
Rembrandt?
Just a moment. Yeah, I'll tell him. He said he didn't think he's going to like pink in the bedrooms. He's coming up again.
Wait, listen. Pardon me. Will you sign a contract, Jack? Come on, Jack. I got to go out and audition a horse. Will you come on and sign the contract? Wait a minute. What's going on?
Wait a minute. Here, hold it.
Tell him that you're the foreman. Anyway, what's going on? What's going on here? What's going on?
Jack, we'll be back in just a moment. First, a word to cigarette smokers.
Light up a lucky.
It's light up time.
Be happy, go lucky.
It's light up time.
For the taste that you like, light up a lucky strike.
Relax.
It's light up time.
Now there's how to really enjoy yourself. Some sparkling cold water, nice warm sunshine, and, of course, a Lucky. The cigarette has to be Lucky Strike simply because Luckies taste better anytime, anywhere, and for good reasons. You'll see one of them right on the bottom of the pack. You see it? LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Tobacco so fine, so light, so mild, it's just naturally good tasting. And then something extra happens to that tobacco just before it's made into Lucky Strike cigarettes. It's toasted. It's toasted, the famous Lucky Strike process brings that naturally good-tasting tobacco to its peak of flavor, tones it up to make it taste even better, cleaner, fresher, smoother. So anytime it's light-up time for you, be happy, go lucky. You'll say it's the best-tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
For the taste that you like, light up a Lucky Strike.
Right now.
Light up a Lucky. It's light up time.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And now, once again, I would like to have you meet my guest, Jackie Gleason. Left him on the bus.
Hey, climb out the window.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Why are you dressed like that?
Well, I'll tell you, Jack. I found out the real dump you're living in, and I'm going over to paint it.
How'd you find out about the Acme Plaza?
Well, to tell you the truth, Jack, when I was broke, I used to stay at that hotel.
No kidding.
Yes.
What room was it?
Minus 12.
You mean that far down?
Yes. I'll never forget the first time I checked into the hotel. The doorman took my bag, said, follow me, and jumped right down a coal chute.
That must have been John L. Lewis's suite.
Same place.
Well, Jackie,
Yeah.
hey, this is a pretty tough show for a
Yes,
suave comedian like me to do, don't you think?
Oh, yes. You're known as one of the biggest swabs in show.
Well, Jackie, thanks very, very much for being on my last show, and now you can go.
Jake?
Yes, Jacqueline?
You're ad-libbing. I want you to know that Gleason never just goes. No. A little traveling music, please.
Jackie, take a bow. Gee, one of the girls dropped her earring. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I must say, before I leave, that Jackie Gleason, I think, is not only one of the great... Am I through? Gee, I'll have to come back and tell you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Appearing on tonight's program are Lois Corbett, the June Taylor Dancers, Alan Tower, and Mildred Clinton. Remember, 1 week from tonight on this same station, be sure and watch Ann Southern in Private Secretary. In the meantime, this is Don Wilson reminding you to listen to the Jack Benny Show on radio every Sunday night over the CBS Radio Network.
Get true tobacco taste in a filter tip cigarette. The easy drawing filter tip Tarryton cigarette. The pearl gray charcoal filter tip cigarette. Smoke filter tip Tarryton.
Take your cue from the red, white, and blue on the package.
Smoke filter tip Tarryton.
You'll enjoy true tobacco taste when you smoke filter tip Tarryton with the pearl gray activated charcoal filter. Try easy drawing filter tip Tarryton, the best in filtered smoking.
The Jack Benny program has been brought to you by the American Tobacco Company, America's leading manufacturer of cigarettes. The Jack Benny program has been selected for viewing by America's armed forces overseas.